The barbell is the best tool for BJJ strength. Oh, is this a controversial statement or is this just facts? Many people are in love with a barbell. They live and die by the barbell. And we need to talk about whether or not this is valid for BJJ folks.
Wait. Are we saying it is? Because I don't agree with that statement.
Oh my fucking, look at you. Look at you coming in with the disagreement.
Yeah, not at all.
No, okay, well, it's a statement that people have said.
Oh, I see.
And we need to discuss.
Okay, right.
Whoa. Joe was about to leap across the couch.
Hang on, cunt. What are you
talking
talking
about?
about?
In the face. You might notice that Joe has a little bit of color above his eye. That's jiu-jitsu related. It's not because I gave it to him because he's getting out of line.
Here's what I did. I taught a class on a Monday morning, which was the first Monday back after the weekend grading.
Yes.
It was a packed class. Everyone was like fucking pumped. Let's go. 2 new brown belts on the mats, bunch of blue belts striped up, couple of new blue belts, I think a couple of new everyone was fucking frothy as. And one of the brown belts, big shout out to Jono, just it was just a guard moment, clipped me in the eye. Was no big deal, but it's just one of those ones that was innocuous at the time.
Boom.
But then I instantly felt my eye hanging over. Yeah, hanging over. It's very interesting when your vision, when all of a sudden you've got a new thing introduced to your field of vision.
Yeah.
It's kind of disconcerting.
Oh, yeah.
It makes me think about some of those UFC fighters, like when they get big split.
Mike Perry.
Yeah, and like skin that's maybe hanging over the eye,
blood.
or that you're just like, fuck, that's got to really throw you off.
It's a brutal thing, but it's...
I know what it's like, guys. That's what I'm saying. I know what, fucking Marvin Eastman, I feel your pain.
Back to the topic at hand.
So
barbells. Why do people love a barbell?
Well, barbells are like kind of in a way the pinnacle kind of tool of strength and conditioning.
Of strength, yeah.
Yeah, and so I would say, like, if you go to the commercial gym though, like if you go to your commercial gym 10 years ago, barbells weren't such a thing. Like
they're in there.
Yeah, but your classic like Fitness First or Globo gym, it didn't have like multiple squat racks.
They might have had one.
That's right.
Sure.
And you can see nowadays most gyms that are half decent will have at least a few squat racks. They'll have multiple barbells, maybe safety bars or a trap bar. Like it's the thing, right?
Lifting platform. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's definitely like but if you're in the world of strength conditioning, which is really at the level of athletes, right? Training sports teams and athletes and whatnot, the barbell is synonymous with that world.
It is. But I think you can definitely say that the influence of things outside of... So if we think about CrossFit or we think about now the growth in powerlifting, because of popular movements within fitness, you then see more of that. Like in the same way, if you looked at the gym 20 years ago, everyone had fit balls. Swiss balls.
Yeah.
Everyone had
TRXs.
Bosu.
You don't see any fucking TRX anymore, thank God.
No, you're seeing, there might be a cheeky set of Olympic rings in there.
You see rings?
Always. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, well, they're up there with barbells.
I mean,
wow,
whoa, hey, you're jumping ahead.
The Russians fucking used it. I'm using it.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, the Russians also used a lot of performance-enhancing drugs. Is it you saying you're on now?
The Russians did everything to the nth degree, whatever it takes.
Well, let's talk about... So my take on this, and this is coming from people far smarter than me, and I've kind of filtered it and thought, how does that apply? I believe a barbell is fantastic for developing like maximal levels of strength, but that doesn't mean it is the be-all and end-all. Now, if we look at Olympic lifting, right? Olympic lifting has become so popular in the last... probably 10, 15 years. And I would actually give a lot of credit to CrossFit for bringing Olympic lifting to the masses.
Absolutely.
Because before that, you didn't see dudes doing like snatches and clean and jerk. Like that was very...
You didn't see women.
Yeah.
I mean, you see it. Yeah, that's right. Like it really brought it back into the mainstream.
Yeah, and it's become more fashionable now for folks to be doing that. And that's awesome because that is great for speed and power development and all of that. But what I'd say is like... with the growth of Instagram and social media, people want to put some fucking glory fucking lifts on the internet. Like the fact that we have a very easy platform to share videos, whether it be YouTube or Instagram, people are like, I want to show my max. I want a max deadlift. I want to have a huge bench press. I want to... So I think...
I mean, sorry to cut, but before the showing of it,
Yeah.
even the appreciation of strength
Yes.
wasn't a thing 20 years ago, right?
It wasn't as glorified.
Like I know when I started going to the gym as a fucking 16-year-old or whatever, it was never about getting strong. It was about getting big.
Jacked. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it was always
Bodybuilding.
like 8 to 12 reps. There was these things that are now synonymous in that most people listening will be like, oh, 5x5.
Sure.
You know, the
5-3-1.
5-3-1,
When low,
German
yeah.
volume training. None of that shit was spoken about in general fitness.
No, there's 3 sets of 8 to 12.
Yeah, get the pump, do the drop set.
Yep.
You know, and
And
so now, yeah, but so to that point, that appreciation has come about, and then layered on top is we can now share it as well.
Definitely. And you know, look, it's fucking awesome if someone's got a really big deadlift or a great back squat, or, you know, people can power clean or snatch a weight. That's really good. But this is what I wanted to say relevant to that. If you go into most gyms, the gym is dominated, like I'm talking like a public kind of Globo gym, it is dominated by dumbbells and machines. Like if you look at the floor space.
Machines is vastly the winner in terms of floor space.
The reason why people are getting into machines is it's not complicated. You know, like you can just sit down,
hard to fuck it up.
pick the weight and do the reps, which is really good for lowering the bar to entry, lowering the barrier to entry to lifting.
Yeah.
So if that's what gets you in, that's good. But this is what I would say. There are limitations to the barbell in terms of its application for BJJ. Now, Dr. Mike Israetel, he might not agree with me. That's fine. Even our friend Charles Allen Price, he might not agree with me, maybe. But I would say...
I want you to list out every potential strength coach that might not agree with
disagree
you.
with you.
We can start now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
And there's this other guy I once saw. He's got
this
glasses
fucking
all the time. And
guy,
fucking he says... So let's go back to the maximal strength thing. The barbell is ergonomically designed so that you can grip it real easy and you can lift heavy weights.
Yes.
And if we take like a deadlift or a squat or a press or a bench, these are like really they're simple movements.
Yeah.
And so the barbell allows you to load up a fucking shit ton of weight.
Yeah.
But there are limitations to that, right?
There are. And also when you start in the gym, don't get me wrong, understanding how to use a barbell is great, but it's also, there may be some things you need to do first before you kind of qualify yourself to just go to the barbell. You know, you may have some pre-existing issues with your body, whether it be a range of motion thing or just proprioception, understanding how your body works, that if you're working with some dumbbells or working with some kettlebells, that could better orient you to progress you to a barbell. So I think just going straight to the barbell isn't always the way. And that's why it's good to look at some other things. Now, why am I a big fan of kettlebells? Let's just step to the side for a second. If you look at the hinge pattern with a kettlebell, it allows the weight to travel back between your legs, which gives you a pre-stretch in your hamstrings. The limitation on a barbell is it stops at your shins. So yeah, you can use your hamstrings in a lot of ways, even if you go to like a movement like a Jefferson curl or like a Zercher position, what have you. But because the weight with a kettlebell is displaced from where you're gripping it and it can travel between your legs, it has a plyometric effect. So you get this mad stretch effect in the hamstrings and boom, contract.
Lengthening, shortening.
Shortening. And you have to do it fucking fast, whether you're cleaning, swinging, or snatching. The kettlebell is actually superior to the barbell for a plyometric effect for your posterior chain. Fuck with me.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
Good
and
point.
so if we look at, say, Olympic lifters, and they can lift the maximal weight above their head in the least amount of reps, kettlebell lifters, like the world champions, my friend James Ross just competed at the world championship. Shout out, he got silver.
Right on.
You know,
That's
like
fucking
second
cool.
in the world. It's amazing. His weight category. They lift the most weight overhead in 10 minutes.
Right.
Right?
Because they
So-
do a shitload of repetitions.
ton of reps
Yeah.
with, you know, basically 32 kilos in each hand, which is nuts.
Yeah.
And
it's fucking heavy.
they work fucking nonstop for 10 minutes.
It's grueling.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
there's
which
that.
I mean, and to that point, right? Like, I think we can all, in simple terms, we can see the benefit of maximum strength. You're like, fuck yeah, it's really good to just be like brutally strong. But like, if you think about a 6 or an 8 or a 10-minute round in jiu-jitsu, if you can be continuously strong,
Yes.
lifting weights for 10 minutes. wait, that's totally different to maximal strength, but it's also super beneficial.
Yeah.
It's very hard to go, this one's better than that one.
Yes.
And so there's a uniqueness to being able to train that capacity.
I think the hardest
I'm
thing...
not doing fucking 10-minute sets. Let's just be clear.
No, but I think the hardest thing one of the hardest things for most folks when they're like, but what am I meant to do? Like, I just want a simple answer, right? For all of us, we don't want to fucking get into the science and the nerdiness of all the shit. You're just like, just tell me the thing to do. So that way, the barbell is a really simple answer, and the progression's very logical. I can do a bit more weight. I can do a bit more reps, or I can do a bit more range of motion potentially, right? The thing about a kettlebell, which makes it maybe a little bit less accessible, is it is more technical. You can fuck it up more. You can smash yourself a bit more. Like, it is more technical. Therefore, you're like, I don't want to fuck with that. I just want to do the thing. And I think this is why, to this day, dumbbells and machines are still so popular, because it doesn't require any thinking.
Are you, just on that, do you think that the kettlebell is actually more technical, or is it that
Yes.
the movements we take...
100%.
No, but hear me out. The movements we take as fundamental in kettlebells are different to what we take in barbell. As an example, like if you compare a kettlebell deadlift and a barbell deadlift, there's no great difference.
No, but when we're talking about the swing...
But this is what I'm talking about, right? So if you compare a swing then with a barbell clean or a snatch.
Yeah, but it's not the same. Like, there's no movement that mimics the swing.
No. But I think that a lot of those foundational kettlebell movements are more technical lifts.
They are.
But if you just do goblet squats, single arm presses, deadlift, it's simple shit. It's not highly technical.
No, but in terms of the grip and the position with the kettlebell, it is more technical. Like, it just requires more understanding. It's not that like, you got to be some genius to do them. Once you learn them, it's fine. But that's the problem. Most folks are out there just trying to do their thing, and they're getting in awkward positions. They're like, this sucks. With a dumbbell, if you don't grip the dumbbell and just hold it, it's going to fucking roll out your hand. It's not going to work.
Fair, yeah.
My friends, I am here to save you time. I do not want you to waste time drinking Gatorade, Powerade, or any other suboptimal electrolyte drink. You know why? It's just sugar. I have the answer for you, my friends. It is Sodi, the sponsor of today's show. Sodi is the perfect mix of sodium, potassium, and magnesium. And those are the salts that make your muscles work so you can choke a fool. Also, is delicious. And when you go to Sodi, SODII.com.au and use the code Bulletproof15, you get 15% off. So what you waiting for? Get the hydration, get the electrolytes, and get choking fools today. Kettlebell a little bit different.
Yeah.
And so I think the simplicity of the barbell and the simplicity of other tools.
Like a dumbbell.
Yeah. But then I want to step sideways here and I want to go, you know what? The progression in my mind in trying to work out what is the best tool for the job, more recently for me, has been the Sandbag. Why do I say this? Because it's so simple. It's even more simple than a barbell. You couldn't, as much as you can tell somebody, hey, I suggest you pick it up in this way and that way, it's raw strength. It is the rawest strength. Because also a sandbag doesn't just stay in a uniform position. It slops around on you, it moves. And mate, I nearly herniated every disc in my back last night because it was a 140 kilo sandbag, but it was only filled to 120. So it was loose.
Extra sloppy.
Oh, so much harder. So much fucking harder. Like in mid lift, it shifted forward. And I was like, it's kind of like if you're grappling a human. You go to like try and put someone down and they move and you're like, oh fuck, it's so hard to deal with. So I was surprised. It actually really blew my mind that how simple, but also how hard training with a sandbag was and what that did for my strength.
Yeah.
Like I was so surprised because I used to think, barbells, kettlebells, like this is the way. I started fucking with sandbags and I was like, no, I've changed my mind.
Look, I think any tool, like any of the tools are effective, right?
Yes, they can be.
I think that the problem that most people face, and I'm looking at like the less experienced training individuals, is that they go all in on one.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I'm a barbell guy. I'm a kettlebell guy.
Yeah.
And we can make some assumptions there, but if you're all in on the barbell and let's say powerlifting is your thing, you're great in those positions. But as soon as you're taken onto one leg or you're taken into a split stance position, you're not particularly stable, right?
Yeah.
But then similarly, I know some absolute kettlebell advocates who just fuck around and never actually get strong.
That's right.
They never put on any mass
Yep.
because they're always fucking around with new shit.
Yeah.
Kettlebell flows and whatnot.
Sure.
And you know, if we look at the two camps, this is kind of where they throw shit at one another.
Sure.
The sweet spot as we see it is the mix of both.
Yeah,
right?
and the best folks do both. Like even the Olympic lifters, like even if you look at the top level, like Liu Xiaojun, Li Huahua, who's like their heavyweight lifter from China, Olympic lifter. When you see them do their accessories, they're doing all kinds of funky shit. They're doing like side bends on the GHD. They're doing like fucking sloppy super power reps on heavy rows. Like they're doing stuff where you're like, oh, that looks... People are like, oh, that's so bro-ish. It's like, no, they're all about force development. So they'll do whatever it takes to produce maximum force. They actually don't give a shit what it looks like. So when they're under the barbell...
They've earned the right to do some sloppy reps.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is like the strictest form reps, which is what I was told, right? When I was 18 and in the gym, these older bodybuilders, like super juiced up, coming over and be like, hey, young blood, let me fucking tell you, like, don't swing, do this, like strict form, maximum control. Like that's all applicable to time under tension and building muscle. But that doesn't mean that's the best thing for producing force or strength necessarily. And I think this is where, you know,
Well, it's good advice to your 18-year-old self.
for sure,
Right?
Like
but
more
then
control.
there's a point that comes, okay, you can let the cat out of the bag a bit and fucking
Yeah.
rip in, son.
Oh, but here's the challenge I feel with all of this. However you identify, Joe, do you identify as a barbell guy? Are you a kettlebell guy? You're an everything guy. You're a movement guy.
I'm Jungle Brothers to the core, bro. I'm everything.
Yeah, he's a man of the jungle. He's fucking Tarzan. I think ultimately the hardest thing is knowing the right tool for the job, also at the right time. Like this is where having a trainer and having a bit of outside
Following a program,
input,
having a coach.
yeah, it helps you because you might start down a path, and then you're like, "Fuck, it's not necessarily giving you what you wanted, or it's not meeting your goals." And so we shouldn't be too attached to one tool. We should have an open-minded approach.
Yeah, I think an easy way for folks to frame it in their mind is like do one thing, if like go in on that thing and get real good at it for 6 to 12 months and then do something else.
Yeah.
So say you spend the next year, like I'm going to go super hard on, I don't know, powerlifting, squat, bench, dead. That's my whole shit.
Yep.
Do it for a year, get strong at it, you know, join that gym, go in that world and then fuck off and go and fucking take up a kettlebell class or just do split squats and single arm presses and get ups for 6 to 12 months.
Yeah.
And bounce back and this way you kind of round out your strength development, don't you?
Yeah, and I think the thing that has been missing for the best part with a lot of what we see in fitness is proper periodization. You know, the reason why the Russians were so good and the Bulgarians and any major nation that has achieved a lot at a highest level, they will be working their athletes through these various levels of tension and lifting. So some time of the year they're going really heavy and some time of the year they're going lighter. And they would do gymnastics training. They do bodyweight training as well as barbell training. It's just people didn't see that shit. So they didn't actually understand how well-rounded those athletes were. And we definitely encourage folks to be well-rounded.
Got to be well-rounded.
There it is,
Gotta
folks.
get after it.
Yeah, now if you want to get well-rounded, check out our app. It's got all the bits and pieces you need to stay on track, get fit, and be well-rounded. Take our 14-day free trial. Just check out Bulletproof for BJJ in the App Store or the Play Store.